welcome you in the SUVtv Coaches Film Room. Glad that you're with us, Joel Hildman, and we will take a look in episode 3, a very interesting matchup, and a matchup that you'll see two teams in the earliest portion of the season. You know how they both wound up. Wheeler head coach Larry Thompson joining us, along with Dutchtown head coach Jordan Griffin. Wheeler and Dutchtown. Gentlemen, we've talked, but before we get into this one, and Larry, you're the elder statesman here, so just roll out for a minute. Coach Griffin came into this ball game. This is your first ball game. You had a scrimmage against Lovejoy, but overall, first game as an official head coach, you had your 2 or 3 weeks to get the team ready. How did you feel going into the contest before tip-off about your Dutchtown Bulldogs?
Well, it was a little different for me. I like to be really, really prepared for things, and it was almost like going into a blind date. I didn't have a lot of film or any film on Wheeler. Tried to go back and look at some stuff from last season that they did. So the biggest thing I did was I made sure I just prepared our guys for different things that we may see, different coverages. That we may see and different things like that. I talked to a lot of coaches, and everybody said, Coach, if you can figure out that man-to-man defense over there that they run, you'll be in good shape. I don't think we figured it out as well as I wanted to, but I'll tell you this, I thought our guys were ready for the moment, playing every feature against Wheeler, and I thought it was just a great opportunity for us.
That's Carl Hampton, Georgia, Henry County rising up. Now over to you, Coach Thompson. You beginning your second year. You had a lot of different toys that you could play with and found some pieces. What was your thought process, and what were you hoping to see from your team entering the start of the second season?
Basically, I just wanted to see them take what we've done from the practice floor and try to do some of the things that we've done on the practice floor and do it in the game. I mean, you got to understand, being first game of the year, guys have been beating on each other probably for the last 3 weeks. And it was a little anxious, a little nervous. Some of the guys were a little nervous playing their first meaningful minutes. And just wanting to see those guys come out and have a understanding and look like they know what they was doing as far as what we did during practice. And for the most part, it is what I thought it was. First game jitters, a lot of early bad basketball early on, and then just making a few plays here defensively to help us, find a way to win a basketball game.
Well, if this is how bad basketball starts, I like the way it ends for both of you. Dutchtown, of course, 5A state champ at the end of the year. Wheeler, the 7A state champ. The film is queued up and running. Dutchtown, as you're looking at it, they're in the gray uniforms, and Wheeler is in the white. So all you guys break it down, get inside. There's an easy bucket there. How did that happen there, Coach?
Like I said early, bad basketball, turnovers, guys trying to do a little bit more than what we capable of doing, and we get an opportunity to score here and we don't make a layup. So it's one of those things where you let a team like Dutchtown with the athletes that Coach Griffin put on the floor, if we didn't settle down quick, we could have got ran out of that building very, very quick. And now we're trying to break the press, and it's probably going to almost end up in another turnover. And we was fortunate right here to find a guy in the back of the zone for a dunk.
Coach Griffin, now what was your game plan overall, execution-wise, of what you wanted to do? Got out to a quick 4-0 start. Still, we know first game, you got to get some jitters out. But overall, what was your standpoint execution-wise?
Well, we definitely wanted to get out in the transition and run, like Coach Thompson pointed to. We want to use our athleticism to get out. I wanted to kind of speed them up and and try to make them make decisions and use our athleticism in the press, as you saw early. We had some bad miscommunications. Even right here, you see we didn't get back on defense. So I was trying to limit them in transition, but I wanted to get out in transition. But I didn't think we did a good enough job defensively within our transition defense on sprinting back and getting into play. And then here, my point guard, we're just playing with the ball. Wheeler did a great job of pressuring us, not letting us get into our play. So they did a good job of pressuring us and turning us over as well. They did a good job of that all night.
And we see the replay, Isaiah with the lead up for the dunk earlier. And then on the last play, Coach Thompson, just kind of came along and proved so valuable later in the season, but made some heady plays here in the early moment.
Yeah, unsung hero. Nash struggled a little bit early on. Didn't play very bad in this game here, but a couple games after this, he didn't play his best basketball. And kid was trying to find his identity, who he wanted to be. Hats off to him though, man, because Nash is a 4-year kid, and he had, waited his turn, whatever the case may be, and he was very instrumental and really huge for us, both offensively and defensively toward the back end of the year. We was led by Sam Hines, but without Nash Kelly, we don't finish the way we finished. That kid there, man, very proud of him, and can't wait for him to figure out what we're going to do for next year, and him get into his college, the college he want to go to.
And just so you all know, this was the first weekend that you could play organized basketball games, and this was the first game of the season, a part of the Georgia Elite 8 tip-off classic. And we see right now a little back and forth. So, Coach Griffin, what are you seeing right now? And one thing I want you can expound on it now, or when you see it develop, how pleased with you with the execution of the offense, and was all of your offense installed, or were you just enough in bits and pieces to see what you needed to see in the opening game?
No, we didn't have it all installed. I felt like we did a bad job of running our offense. We didn't do a good job of screening and setting screens on guys and those little detailed things that I'm very big on. I thought we just wanted to get up and down so much that we didn't do a good enough job of just settling it in half court. We couldn't get it in transition, and so and I think that's a lot of credit is to Wheeler. They just don't let you get comfortable. Like they just pressure you all over the floor, and so we're not comfortable. So we're making some bad plays and different things that we probably shouldn't be doing. But I didn't think we did a good enough job of offensively just settling and running our stuff.
And defensively, Coach Thomas, was part of your game plan wanting to apply multiple pressure and not allowing them to get comfortable, especially with the way Man and Brian are in the basketball game?
Absolutely. Thought process going in, because of the depth that we wanted to, and thrust into the game and see guys get, different opportunities. We wanted to play a faster pace defensively, a little bit more faster pace than I probably would like to play. Probably play more full court man than I probably played all year. But for the most part, we wanted to pick these guys up full court and make them make plays, late in the third, fourth quarter with it being an early game, see if we can, tire them out a little bit and force them to take some early shots when the game's in balance later on in the game. They did a great job of getting what they wanted in certain parts. But if they could have made, a few more shots, just like we could have made a few more shots, probably been a little cleaner basketball game. I think neither one of us shot the ball really well. Only 4 made threes in the ball game. As far as offense being installed, I had a little bit of our basic offense in, a lot of ball screen motion type stuff that we want to do in this game just to get guys moving and settle them down. We made some adjustments, at halftime to get a few more sets in that we had worked on. But for the most part, we wanted to keep it really, really simple. Didn't want the guys out there thinking too much. Just want them out there playing, especially on the defensive end.
And Coach Griffin, we're seeing you guys are getting some open looks. You're getting drive, but just not going in, as Doc Rivers say, make or miss.
Yeah, it's just what it is, to make a miss league. Even that shot, that was a good play. That was the right play by Cam Bryant. Drive, make a guy commit, and then kick it to the corner. I thought he did a good job. Also, he's kicking it to a guy that shot 42% on the season for us from three, who ended up going 0 of 8 this game. I don't think I would have ever thought he would go 0 of 8 in the game, especially when he shot 42% from the year from three. However, I thought we were missing shots, but I thought once we saw the shots weren't falling, we needed to kind of adjust and adapt. We didn't do a good enough job with that.
So 3:37 to go, and Dutchtown has this 3-point lead after the generous roll on this jump shot here. Coach Thompson, your time out here. I mean, it's November, so you probably don't remember, but kind of what do you think was said here in this timeout?
I think it was a good timeout Coach took right there. I was actually going to take one on the other end if we, didn't get anything in transition. But it's basically going to be more, let's settle down, guys. You've been playing 3-4 minutes right now. Let's get into our secondary offense, see if we can get something a little bit easier. Guys are trying to force things a little bit right now. Everybody wanted to get in the stat sheet for some reason on the offensive end. Everybody wanted to see, especially playing at McEachin, they have the points on the side of your number. Guys want to get that, I guess, that 0 from beside their name. And you can see that some shots that we're taking weren't good shots. Some shots that they were taking wasn't good shots. This guy's a little juiced up and ready to get their scoring off, as opposed to settling down playing good team basketball. Coming out of the timeout right here is a great switch up into the zone. And, you know, being this early in the year, we wasn't very good against zone, but I think Nash thought he had kicked to the corner on this play right here. But I think we found an open jump shot, may or miss, but it was a great switch to the zone defense come out of timeout by coach.
And speaking of that switch, Coach Griffin, you know, is that something that you wanted to show? Because I saw you a number of times this year out of timeout change your defense coming out of timeout.
Yeah, I always, you know, I'm a bit of I like to kind of play a little cat and mouse, you know. So I know most times coaches are going to drop a play for their guys to run out of timeout, and I also heard that Coach Thompson was really good out of timeouts and drawing up plays. So I wanted to make sure I kind of took that away, and I thought our athleticism with our, you know, in the 1-3-1 could bother them. I wanted to see if they could make a shot. But also, I didn't, and this is as a coach, I didn't do a good enough job of going back to it, because I did think it gave them some problems. I just didn't go back to it enough throughout the duration of the game.
Some problems gave us all kind of problems, Coach. I mean, we wasn't very good shooting the basketball either. Glad to see that you did not stay in it. I can promise you this: you did a great job of switching up at that particular time, and it made me write myself a little note. Man, I got to spend more time on zone this year, because that could make or break you early in the year. So we got a couple opportunities out of it. We just couldn't finish early on. I think it was more so the jitters, more so the atmosphere, more so guys just a little impatient. I think the last two times we was in possession right here, the ball got passed once, and we took a shot on that one. And then Isaiah tried to throw a lob over to Sam, which was a pretty good play, just couldn't finish. So we haven't moved the defense at all the first two possessions of seeing the zone, which is something that we talk about in practice every single time. Let's make sure we move the zone. Don't take the first shot you see, because that's probably going to be a bad one. And right out of the timeout, as soon as we see zone, what do? Pass the ball once on the first possession, take a shot, miss a three, try to throw the ball over the top, which should have been a converted layup, but it wasn't. So to me, that's bad offense.
Yeah, I thought, you know, for us, I was told by a coach I used to work for, you know, to run a little bit more zone early in the season. Most teams spend a lot of time on man-to-man, and he said you could kind of probably steal a win or two, you know, by running some zone early in the season. So I thought it would give us opportunity to kind of, you know, I know for us, we didn't work on a ton of zone stuff early on, so I was happy that, you know, that we didn't see zone. But I know that was just a kind of a thing that I was trying to do, trying to maybe just run something I know teams probably hadn't worked on as much.
Yeah.
And Coach, we see here, Coach Thompson, Zion Hines, offensive rebound, putback, and one. And this actually came at a big time for you, because now we've seen over a 3.5 minute stretch where you guys couldn't put the ball in the hoop. But you, Coach Griffin, you talked about keeping him off the glass and unable to do it right there.
Yeah, and that's effort. You know, it's just effort. We didn't put a body on guys, and you'll see it a lot more throughout the duration of this game. That's an effort thing. We got two big athletic guys down there. There's no reason for us not to put a body on somebody and get a rebound. That was one of my keys to the game: box out and rebound, and put bodies on these guys. And I don't think we did a good job of executing that.
And we can still see it almost looks like a bad tennis match, just back and forth. But one key thing as we get into the closing moments here, there's another hoop. It's a 10-2 Wheeler run to close this first quarter. And we've got a set coming up, Coach, and I'm going to want you to break this down as we get inside. We've got two plays coming up that I think are vital for you. We take a look here at the replay, but one of them, the first, we talked about Collier, the freshman playing in his first game, makes a good play, and then we've got a set guys run coming up. I want you to break down both of these because they were vital to run to close the quarter.
Okay, all right.
Great set, by the way.
I think it's a little America's play action that we close quarters with and we open quarters with from time to time.
Here it is.
was a little penetrating kick. Zay turned down the ball screen right there. It's a wildcat action that we use. We got a high ball screen with a lift. He turned down the ball screen. Supposed to come off and probe the strong side of the floor, the open side of the floor, and he ended up turning down the ball screen. Something that we talked about earlier, because we wasn't very good after this game with turning down the ball screen, but he just happened to make a play. I think guys overcommitted just a little bit on the help because he didn't get in and shoot for him. He's shooting a runner, and that's not a shot that we probably not going to make at a high percentage rate. But lucky enough to, find a guy, one of the best attributes of the young freshman is his passing ability, his court vision, IQ. So he was able to make a play.
And now this set here, run us through it because it's going to lead to a rare 3-ball.
And it's the one. That was a fourth shot right there. It was the same action, same action, but it'll be the next one, the one that closed the quarter. And we actually ran it to close the quarter, and then we ran it again to start the quarter, and we had an opportunity for the shot. Kid just didn't take the jump shot again. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
That play is just a good job defensively by Wheeler. I mean, we couldn't get into our stuff. We couldn't run our sets. We pushed out by the volleyball line. We did not do a good enough job just holding guys off and just catching the ball in the scoring area in the whole game. And you just saw that resulting into a turnover.
So we played a lot of gap contain this early game. We talked about not letting guys play one-on-one, not letting guys take the ball from the three-point line, get in the teeth of the defense. So we probably overhelped in this game more so because I didn't want guys getting dribble dry, especially didn't want Cam getting down the floor. So a little America's play here, pick the picker. We run him off, probably had him right here. AJ, who was a guy that made, quite a few threes for this year. I think he shot over 37%. He was a junior for us last year. He'll
run that back.
He'll be looking to shoot that ball again next year.
So hold it right here, Coach Thompson. Defensively, Coach Griffin, what do you see?
Well, we should have switched it and switched out on it and had the guy on the weak side and help, but we didn't do a good enough job of switching. We actually talked about guarding which is a cross screen, down screen. It's really what he ran. It's cross screen to see if he can get in the post, and then it's got the down screen, so screen the screener here. So they'll set it, and then they'll come and get him on the down screen. We should have just switched it. Cam Brown should have just took him at the top, and we would have had it covered up and then guarded to slip on the backside. But we didn't do a good enough job of just communicating. We tried to fight through it, just switch and then hold in on the guy diving. That's what we should have done there.
And if you notice, right when AJ catches that at the top, if you notice Coach Griffin on the sideline, that's exactly what he's speaking about. Right. He got up out of his chair immediately.
Yeah.
That's one of the times you want to stop it in practice and really get in somebody because you probably just talked about that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And guys go right on the floor and don't get done what you need to get done.
And again, another open look. It's a deep three, but still open, but nothing able to fall for you.
Yeah, we probably could have got a better one, a better shot. Again, it is open, but I think we can get something at the rim. We haven't gotten many baskets in the paint in the first quarter, if you've seen, other than transition. So we didn't do a good enough job of getting in the paint. I think we tried to do that as the game went on, but we didn't do it early on.
And there's that three again that closes out that 10-2 run. So +3 Wheeler after, you had a good little bit of portion there with the lead, multiple possession lead at one point, but it's 17-14. So now, Coach Griffin, in this quarter break, kind of what's the message now? Well, you've got 8 minutes under your belt. You're seeing some things as far as the shooting. What else are you addressing in this break?
Well, I for sure wanted to get the ball in the paint. I know I told him I had to give man more touches. I didn't think we gave him enough touches in scoring areas. I thought he had to catch the ball at the three-point line. I wanted to get him more in the scoring area. But also, I didn't think that we played hard in the first quarter. And for us, that's something that I always talk about, being aggressive, being the most aggressive team. And I didn't think we were the most aggressive team in the first quarter, and the results showed. So for us, it was just trying to get those guys just play a little bit harder. I thought we had everything in front of us, but we didn't do what we needed to do as far as the energy and the effort, and those are things that we can control.
Coach Thompson, kind of what was your quarter break about? Because you got a lead.
It was basically, I remember like it was yesterday. I remember like, yo, man, just calm down, fellas. Like, calm down and secure the rebound because they got quite a few second chance opportunities there toward the end. And not only that, don't be so forced to take the first shot you see. Let's run the stuff that we've been working on and the reason why we came right back with the same plays because we ran it, made multiple passes, and got an open look. So I like the trusted guys is going to work. He's going to work and take the ones that they give us. So we come right back and run that same little action. Kid actually pops open again, just didn't take the shot. Makes the pass, and then we go into secondary. And again, Nash, well, he did get to T for defense and make a little play for Doran, who hit a 15-foot jump shot.
And there it looks like, Coach Griffin, better defense to stop their first option, but then the second, after the play went down, unable to contain it, and he was able to get the short jump.
Yeah, well, interesting enough, I'm sure I probably mentioned it if I did, my assistants did, but the guard tried to lock and trail that time, so he locked onto him and he was trailing, but he got behind on the screen, and then now they got into a scramble situation, just drove us and broke us down, got to the paint for a driving kick for a good high percentage shot. Here, they're doing a good job. They're running. I think they're running kind of like a little ball screen motion action or some kind of motion action. I thought for the most part we did a good job guarding it. We weren't in help, so we didn't have a guy in the help line. So we patch one hole, and then the other hole comes unsealed. So.
Second chance points again there for Wheeler.
So, yeah, and again, that's just another effort play. I felt like that we just didn't do, we weren't the first to the ball. Wheeler was the first to the ball all night. I felt like they wanted it more than we did, and they just really went and pursued the basketball. I felt if we would have just played with that type of energy, effort, and you'll see that a little bit more as the half gets ready, as the half ends. But I didn't think we did that enough throughout the game to give us a chance to win the ball game.
Mm.
Nash Kelly again making good plays, and Coach Nash finished with 10 points in that contest and 10 from Collier. So you got 20 points from your pseudo point guards in this contest.
Yeah, I mean, both of them was in downhill attack mode. Neither one of them did a great job of coming off the screen. Like the play Nash that scored on, he turned down the ball screen again and went to the small side of the floor. One thing we had to get back into the lab and really talk about, because it got us in troubles in other games. Guys want to turn down the ball screen, go to the short side of the floor. So we had to really get back in the lab and really work on it. I don't know what we got going on right here, right now. The dribble exhibition and guy putting the ball on the floor, going in there and make a play. But guys were trying to be in the system. I think, again, the heat of the moment and, the atmosphere caught a couple guys and want to do their own thing a little bit too much at particular times.
Now, Coach Griffin, I haven't talked about Cam Bryant here, but defensively, what did you not like about that possession right there?
Well, I thought we did a good job guarding their motion or ball screen motion action. They ran a lot of ball screens that play. So we force everything to the sideline. So we try to ice all ball screens and all ball screens down. And so we did a good job of that. Then Cam closed out and gave middle. So when he closed out and gave middle instead of sending him back to the sideline, which we would have been in good position if he was sent to the baseline. He didn't do it. I get middle, get a foul.
Can we run that back at least to the replay, the baseline angle of that?
So you see, let's see the plays right here. So Cam closes here. But you got to close now. Just stay like that. Stay at the angle that he was and send him to the baseline. I had guys on the backside to help, but he sent him right back to the middle. Allowed a foul as he sent to the middle. Should have just kept him on the baseline. And that's something that as the season went on, we really practiced and drilled to keep everything to the sideline baseline to get out of that middle.
And now the lead has ballooned up to 8, and Wheeler has momentum. You look back on your heels defensively.
Bad shot.
Oh, yeah. Again, these are shots that we made throughout the season. We just didn't make it. I thought it was a good one more pass. We just didn't make it. We didn't make the open shots.
Yeah, we were lucky, man. Guys didn't probably miss more shots than they normally would make. We were lucky a couple of those possessions. I probably went away from this second unit a little bit too fast. But it looked like, got the start of some rest and like they, got their wits about them when I, was talking to them on the sideline. So I went back with them. But I, in hindsight, looking at it again, I probably should have stayed with that group probably another 2, maybe 3 minutes. And if they continue to play what they're playing, let them close the quarter. We come right back in and get another jump shot. that we didn't make a whole bunch of them. Ref, let us play.
They did.
And let us play.
Yes, they did.
Jesus.
And this is where I just wanted us to slow down and run something. Just bring the ball out and just run something. Like we tried to get into a set. He calls for a high ball screen to get a high ball screen here. We didn't have enough space in. Never set the screen. We didn't have enough space in. If he runs the high ball screen, he's supposed to have 1-4 low. He didn't have enough space in. And so it resulted into a bad fourth shot.
Talking about slowing down. We finally walking up the floor one time and a little handoff action here.
You get a layup.
I mean, that's the freshman, going in business for itself a little bit. I mean, he designed to get it back, but we had a little hammer action going on the backside. I guess he just turned the corner and saw he had an angle and make the layup. Pretty tough layup right there. So I was just telling my guys, man, if you just slow down, man. Just slow down. You're gonna get your opportunity. Just slow down. Again, I know it's the first game, but just slow down. We'll be able to get quality attempts at the basket.
But now you see you've got a double-digit lead.
Those guys, I said, we was lucky, man. Coach, I mean, they missed a few shots, missed a few threes, and they make 1 or 2 of those. I mean, you're talking about a 1 or 2 point ball game, majority of the way. Those guys did a great job making runs and staying within striking distance because we wasn't very good. Like, we come down and dribble, drive, and just throw it away. Gamble in transition, and I think he hit that one.
Yeah, it was just one of the two.
Not the roll.
Yeah, I called a timeout after this. I called a timeout after this to try to just get our guys to play with some type of energy. And the guy that made the shot, he didn't start this game. He became a starter after this game started. Every game after this for us was a junior, Cameron Callahan. He started every game because I thought he came in, he gave energy, he played with effort, he played hard, he got in the passing lanes, and I thought he just played a role. And so for us, he earned his opportunity, and he never kind of let it go. But that's what I tell my guys: if you play hard, you give energy, a lot of stuff, good things will happen for you in a game. And I thought he kind of made stuff happen this game. He was a big proponent while we got back in this game as well.
And he gave you almost 7 points a game the remainder of the season. How valuable do you think he'll be to you next season?
Oh, he's going to be big. He's going to be huge. He's my defensive guy. He's my, offensive guy, knocks down open shots, open threes. He knows how to play. So he's going to be big for us next year.
And someone else who we're not talking about, I don't know if Coach Thompson did this on purpose, but Hobbs right now, a quiet day from him so far from you, Coach.
Yeah, well, this game, I don't know how many Hobbs had. I think he had. But Hobbs made tough baskets.
He did.
He made tough shots, and he kept us in the game with just tough shots. He made those shots all season, but I just thought he never could really get comfortable. Again, I thought the pressure of Wheeler kind of took him out and bothered him. As we got into the season, I started running more elevator screens for him and getting him off the ball and having him kind of open a little bit more so he can play off the ball. But he just didn't have a really good game for us, as far as shooting the ball that he normally did as the season went on.
Yeah, I know he was a big part of what, I think all league guy last year. A lot of teams, because I know he could shoot the basketball. Just wanted to pressure him and bother him and be there on the catch and no catch and shoot opportunities for him. But he did a great job of making, like you said, really, really tough ones. I mean, hands in his face, off balance. He just made shots, toward the latter stage of the game and kept you guys in distance.
Mm-hmm. And again, you see, it's just pressure. It's 94 feet of pressure, for the entire game. Here we try to run something. I want to just get into Jermaine. I tried to just clear it out. And I didn't think Jermaine needed to push off. I think he had the size advantage anyway. Just turn around and turn up and post him up. But that's the first time this game that we get the ball inside to Jermaine the entire game. And we're talking about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. That's on me. I had to do a better job of just getting him the ball.
And we not to rehash the point though, but like you said, that was the first time he went into the post. But the theme that I've seen in this first half, quick shots, not really what that says. Is that you or was that Wheeler's defense?
I think it has to do a little bit of both. I think Wheeler defense sped us up, and it made us have to make quick plays and feel like that we had to take quick shots. But also, I didn't think I did a good enough job of just calling the correct play, throughout the game. And I thought as the season went on, we got more comfortable within our sets and running our sets. And I always tell guys, know what you're looking for. So when we run a set, we're not just running it just to run it. We're running it for a reason, for a specific purpose. So as the season went on, they knew always the first time down, we wanted to try to get the ball inside to Jermaine man. I think we averaged about, 35, 40 paint points in a game. And that was just because we wanted to just pound the ball inside. Here, we were just trying to figure it out, how to get the ball inside to man and kind of where he likes his spots. And I thought we were just kind of going through that phase, just figuring it all out.
And Larry, you guys are getting to the free throw line a lot. In the first half, you got to the line 9 times. A lot of that was Sam Hines doing his work.
Right.
Is that if I hate to say it, that's hidden points. That's kind of how the league got out there. Oh, Isaiah, I thought he was gonna pull that.
No, because we were struggling to score from the perimeter as far as shooting the basketball. I remember Coach Q and Coach Shep was screaming like, "Yo, go rebound, go hit the glass, go hit the glass. We're not making shots, go hit the glass." And Sam, that's just who he is. I mean, we was missing a huge piece to our tandem with that 4-5 action with Hudson being out. Took it upon himself to say, you know what, I need to go get 12. And for the most part, that's who he was all year long as far as hitting the glass, finding second chance opportunities for us. We got a whole lot better offensively. This is just bad right here. We just throwing the ball away. We got a whole lot better as the season progressed, but Sam Hines' energy and effort, it carried us this game and a lot during the year.
Coach Griffin, I saw we just scored points in the paint there.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, every time we got 2 feet in the paint, it was something that happened. Here, we get 2 feet in the paint, we get a foul. We run a little action, a little flex cut action to get our guard the ball, so we can get a switch or get him open. He got the ball here for a while before a layup. They fouled him, but that's 2 straight times we got the ball in the paint. First time we got a score. Second time, we got to the free throw line. To me, it wasn't magic. We just need to get the ball in the paint, and I thought we eventually started doing a little bit better job of that.
Yeah, it sure didn't hurt to have the freshman out of position defensively. Ball 3 passes away, he's over there hugging his man. Now make that screen really, really easy. And we go.
This is Callahan, and Coach, you mentioned it. He gave you 7 points off the bench in this second quarter.
Yeah, there was 7 huge points. I mean, we needed some type of spark, and he provided the spark. Hines just misses a layup there that I'm sure he probably made every time in every point in the season. And I thought Cam did a good job of just walling up and not fouling. Again, we can't get a rebound, so that's another opportunity for them to score the ball. But Hines just missed a bunny that I'm sure he made, every other game in the season. So,
boy, it's tough.
And this is a little run. You saw Wheeler had a 12-point lead. It's chipped away now.
I wanted to do that more. I didn't get a chance to. I wanted to get Bryant the ball in the open floor and try to get him downhill on Hines and try to get Hines in some foul trouble. But I didn't feel like that, we did enough of that, getting him the ball in space where he could try to get downhill on Hines, because I knew Hines was was the guy that was hurting us. So
there's a drive and score more paint points there as this run continues.
It's a tough finish right there.
That's Hobbs making plays happen. And it seems like on this possession, he handled the pressure well, got Nash off balance.
He did a good job. Yeah. I thought
we got
the
no
guy
stuff from Hines over there.
Yeah, the guy over man probably should have slid over, but I thought Hobbs did a good job of getting downhill, just making a tough play. Sometimes you got to make a tough play, and I thought he did that. Legal screen. So now I feel that we have some momentum behind us, but then the last 39, 40 seconds of the game, we didn't do what we needed to do to try to get another basket. I thought if we could have went into halftime down 2, or, even with a tie ball game, we would have been in good shape. But we, again, missed the open 3 that we probably, hopefully will make throughout the rest of the season.
Oh, give me that.
It's a grown man in that, man.
Yeah, man. It is.
It's a grown man. Yeah, man. We didn't close quarters very well. Like I said, I think I went back to this group probably 2 minutes too quick. Probably should have let my other group, especially with some of the way some of the other guys were playing, particularly Max Harris, the way he was driving the ball and finding the free throw line. Then we go on the ball screen again and get in trouble.
So that was a better job for us.
Hedge that back, run that back.
Yeah, we got a chance to ice the screen, force him down on the screen. I didn't want to help off the corner because I didn't want the guy to get a shot. So I wanted the help to come from the bottom. Our other guy slides over to take the charge, which was good, and then man covers down on the backside, which was one of the better defensive plays that we had. I think in the entire game.
With Kelly right here, I mean, he barely gave it time for the screen to get set.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't know you was even icing. We have an automatic coverage when we see guys icing. We'll go dribble handoff and go a little high-low action right here. But guys are so prone to trying to get downhill and score ball to the second side of the floor. It stayed on the first side of the floor, so nobody else touched the basketball. And defense was already loaded up on that side. Easy charge, easy play for them for you guys to make.
So a 12-point lead slashed down to 4 at the half at 32-28. We've seen it. We've said, I'm gonna just call it BB bad basketball, but you're right there in the game, Coach Griffin, down 4. What's kind of your message at halftime? Because the third quarter really gets interesting.
It's exactly what you just said. I'm actually going to the locker room. You know, I'm almost positive I went in the locker room in a pretty good mood because I thought we showed some fight. And that's sometimes what I want to see. Just can you guys just show fight? Are you willing to stay in the battle when things aren't going well, shots aren't falling? Are you able to stay in the battle? I thought we fought to get back in the game. We had an opportunity for that game to go the opposite way, but I thought we just fought. And my biggest thing was, and you'll see it coming out of the gates, we got to get the ball inside. And I just wanted us to get it inside. And so I just couldn't emphasize it. I drew this play up. I remember drawing it up. We had put the play in, got it from an NBA set that I ran, that I got it from. But I wanted to just make sure we got the ball inside.
It's a great set. Man screen prints pretty well, and it was easy money. And I think I look back at Coach Cam or Coach Shep and was like, yo, if they start doing that, we're gonna be in trouble. We got to get these guys ready to play a little zone because we didn't have an answer for him inside.
And we're gonna see that set here coming in just a moment. We have both of you guys break it down again. You know, Coach Griffin, you said it's an NBA set, so you know I'm already in favor of it.
So it's a handoff on the weak side to occupy the guy on the weak side. So I wanted to occupy the weak side. On the strong side, but also as Jermaine sets the double, I wanted him to just post in and duck in hard. So I saw that Davies was on him the entire game, and I was wondering why I didn't post Davies up more. So all I wanted man to do was set the double here. So he goes and sets the double, and then just duck in right here and just get the ball right to him in the middle of the paint.
Yep.
And so it just worked out where we got to just, if Jermaine couldn't score that, we weren't going to have a chance anyway to win that game.
Hey, great set. If we look at it again, look at our defensive positioning. Guys are standing straight up. Nobody's in the stands. Prince is too far off the ball. He should be in the middle of the lane already, and he's standing straight up. You got to beat that guy really, really low because he's a big, burly, strong kid. You can't play that high, just like football. High guy, the highest guy's going to lose. So if he had been a little bit lower and already jumped to the ball, he wouldn't be able to cut his face. He would. But coming out of the halftime, that was a great call and got the game within 2 points.
So I was happy here. Finally, I thought we were on the floor, going to the loose balls and trying to get some energy and play hard. We dove on the ball, dove on the floor. It was a jump ball for Wheeler, but to me, it showed, okay, we're ready to play, we're ready to fight a little bit for the game. And I thought finally, we brought that effort that it required to win a ball game.
I think we came out a little lethargic too. I think that run that you guys went on kind of stung us a little bit. We was up, 14, and we come out and another turnover. First, the deflection on the first initial set. I mean, we count that as almost being a turnover. Then we turned the ball over again. Guys came out with a ton of energy in the third quarter. Almost imposed your will a little bit, and you got what you wanted.
So we run the same play again. This time we didn't get what we needed, but our guard is able in space to kind of break it down. It's the same play. Hobbs just made an isolation play this time, ISO, and just scored it. But we ran the same play. That time Davis was in the right spot. He was in the he jumped to the ball, so man couldn't just duck him in. And then Hobbs just makes a tough basket.
And defensively, Coach Thompson, is what you see, because it was the same play, but then being able to play off of the option and still making a hoop there for Coach.
Yes, it was not a guy keeping the ball in front of him. Like in our defense, the guy that's guarding the basketball, you got to be able to absorb at least 2 dribbles. If you can't guard 2 dribbles, you're going to have a hard time playing in my system. I'm a defensive-minded guy first, so to see Nash get beat off one bounce, really a little discouraging right there, especially with Prince doing his job on that second play to keep them from getting a easy layup.
And now Isaiah goes flying down the lane and scores.
A freshman turned down the ball screen again, and then it's finding a paint touch, and lucky enough to make a play.
Do you feel that's because right now he's still trusting his ability to be able to turn down that ball screen and get the step?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of first high school game jitters and knowing what he knows as far as coming from AAU and being able to do that, consistently all the time. I mean, guys at this level here, especially later on in the year, really, really guard, really, really defend. And, it kind of got us in trouble, 3, 4, 5, 6 games in, because now we got some stuff on film and we know they want to turn down the ball screen. They want to turn down the ball screen, which is we don't. We really didn't want to turn down the ball screen. We want to get downhill and get to the strong side of the floor and find shooters. We did want to apply our guard to group pressure. We want to get these guys turned 2, 3 times in half court just to wear them out, just to see if they can handle the ball with fatigue legs and make them make shots when they get a little bit tired. So we stayed in our 50 defense the entire night. And this third quarter, in the second third quarter, Coach, you guys did a good job of handling the ball, handling the pressure, and getting more of what you wanted to get.
Mm-hmm. And let's run that back, because I think that, Coach Griffin, that was their longest possession of the game right here.
Finally.
But you got a hoop, though, and it looks like they developed the patience to allow it to develop.
Yeah, well, we didn't come off the ball screen well, but here we were able to sneak in the backside of their defense and get in the paint. Again, a paint touch led to a basket. So Isaiah Plessis sneaks in. His man is kind of ball watching. Then man gets a good position. He just dumps it off to man. At that point, it's not much you can do with man when he's right there at the basket on his back.
Yeah, we can't get face cut that deep. I know he was back twice, but Oliver was playing, not playing too low and not playing one pass off. Let's play.
Pretty
good effort right there defensively. It's pretty good effort right there, man. That's indicative of who Nash and Prince were, man. I mean, we missed a shot on the other end. Those guys sprint back and find a way to get a deflection, and we turn it over again. Prince stays at home and get a block, and then we trying to find a way to get a 50-50 ball. Guys are flying around the floor, and Nash again, gets down lane, make a move, and we're lucky enough to get a foul call right there. But that defensive effort is who we became, who we wanted to be going in, and what made us go on the run that we went on. Just those second, third, fourth, fifth energy effort plays defensively. On that particular play, you got a chase down strip and then a block, and then guys find a 50-50 ball. Those are the deflection that we want to have to make us disruptive defensively.
And again, more free throws.
Yeah, we couldn't stop fouling. I mean, we took 4 free throws. They took 22 free throws. It tells you we didn't get the ball inside the paint enough. I mean, we go 3 or 4 and they make 68% of theirs. We didn't do a good enough job the entire night of just getting the ball inside. in the game. Again, that's a shot that Hobbs made this season. He just missed it, and I wanted that. I was like, okay, if they double down, Hobbs, just stand there, be ready to shoot and knock it in. Maybe not. I didn't want it as much this game, but that's something that he was able to do all season. And again, here they get 3 offensive rebounds before the ball goes out of bounds.
That kid, as an athletic freak, he go up and miss a layup instead of going to punch the basketball. I mean, he roll off. I mean, he starts the game with a dunk, and then he short arms one right there in a time where we really, really need a basket. We're struggling a little bit offensively.
Neither team, in my opinion, had any fluidity. There's no either way.
I agree. And then we get a miss shot. Bryant does a good job of getting the rebound here. They call a foul. I don't think it was a foul, but they called one. And we get to get the ball out of bounds, but they called a foul there. It didn't hurt them. We only shot 4 free throws, so they were okay. So
they let us play. They let us play.
Yeah, they did.
That one, it was. Hey man, it is what it is. I don't think we're playing very hard right now. I think we're getting out toughed right now. That's a tough shot right there. If he's going to make those all night, we don't have a chance. And I mean, he made his share, but that's about the best defense you can play.
It's nothing wrong with Wheeler's defense there. There's nothing wrong with that defense. It's just a better shot.
And that was a design BOB, right, Coach?
Yeah, well, I wanted to get him the ball. I didn't want to get the ball in the corner, but I wanted him to get the ball for a corner shot, a 3, not that type of shot. But he created, if he gets a little space, he can create. That was one of the worst defensive plays.
Let's run that back. I want to hear this from the defense and offense. But Coach Thompson,
yes, sir.
That, Davies' move here, this was not part of the set?
No, I mean, he came off the ball screen. We got a lift. I'm surprised Prince didn't shoot that ball, but he missed the previous one. And so my understanding what he was saying, like the lane just opened up. And usually ball screen with a lift, that shot is usually there. We're trying to get the with Sam. Sam roams to the 3-point line. And the closeout, again, high foot open. He takes one bounce and he's, dipsy doing to the lane. But normally we come off that ball screen, we get a lift. We're trying to go either high low or a quick duck in right there.
Coach Griffin, you holding your mouth open about the defense on that. Run that back, because you talked about the closeout on the first half, and now here it is in the second half.
Well, Hines messes us up because he pops instead of rolls. Right. Now we have 2 different coverages. If Hines pops, we're supposed to X out on it, but he pops it. We didn't card it. But then we got 2 guys on the weak side. If you look at it, that are not even in the paint. Right here, we got a guy go follow the ball. So now he's not. Now we got nobody weak side. We got 2 guys that's not standing in the paint that should be there to help take away that. We didn't do a good enough job again communicating. But I thought it was a good design play. Ball screen with a feel on the backside, and then having Hines pop kind of threw us off a little bit.
Hines didn't do his full job. He was supposed to roll, Coach. We don't pop in that initial secondary action right there. But little memory lapse right there. We was lucky. We're lucky.
Another one coming up, Coach Thompson. Again, we've seen it now. And if the young men don't know what ball screens are now, they've known it in this coach's film room. He turns down the ball screen again, right here.
Yep.
Now, defensively,
that one you really can't be mad at, because the floor is really, really spaced. So,
yeah.
So defensively, we should have had guys in the paint. Man came over to help. So man comes over, he does his job. Brian has to stay corner. So man should come over, and we should have a guy drop back and take man's guy. I mean, it should be a easy. So the only pass we get up to skip to the 3-point line opposite, but we didn't do our job. Man comes over, great. Hobbs needs to come back in and take man's guy.
Yes, the freshman didn't even allow the play to even get set up. One, Prince is too high. He need to be more in the corner so we can sprint up into the lift action. Again, we wanted to put these guys in space. We wanted to run off a lot of ball screens. Prince is too high. So if we go lift right now, we don't even get it. Luckily, Zay can make a little play right there and find a layup. We talked about this a lot after this game as far as getting guys set up and getting to our spots where we're supposed to be. We was fortunate that a guy could make a play, and then we come right down and give up a layup.
The tough layup. I mean, I know other way to point. It's a tough layup.
Yeah, it is.
He made this through contact. You know, I thought he got fouled, but he made it through contact. He made it through the trees and goes and just puts it in. Because
the reason why I say he would come down and give up a layup, and if we run it back, look at my two offside. Nobody got a foot in the paint. Right there. That's why I say we come down and give up a layup. Attention to detail defensively. I think a little fatigue is setting in. These guys have played the entire quarter. It's the first game of the year. This film right here was a film that we watched a lot to say how not to guard to close quarters, because right there, Isaiah and Sam, two guys that were in leadership roles, especially Sam, come down and hugging the backside and not getting where they're supposed to be defensively.
I see Hobbs right there. You talked about it. He's hitting his chest, coach, saying his bad there on the defense, what you pointed out just a minute ago.
Yeah, he knows, and he's a smart player. At that point, I don't want to hear my bad. I tell you that much, and they know it. I could care less if it was your bad, because your bad game, and he knows it gave up 2 points. But for the player to acknowledge it and be able to understand it, I do take that as a coach. But I think, at the end of the day, Hodge has made some really tough plays. I didn't think any of it, a lot of it didn't matter because we couldn't get enough stops in the basketball game. So for every 2-pointer that we scored, we were going down and giving up another 2-pointer. So we couldn't string together stops for the entirety of the game.
Fluidity, nothing fluid either way, and it's still just a 1-point game. Final 3 minutes.
We finally slowed down a little bit here. We tried to post Prince because he had, I think it was Hobbs who was guarding him in the block. Little action we run, we see a mismatch on the wing, guy that's guarding the wing guy, Prince being 6'4". We try to post him right here, do a bad job of getting the basketball, and then that guy, Sam, find a mid-range jump shot. And we haven't hit one basically all night outside of Dorian. He makes one.
That was a baseline out of bounds. It was really just a catch and shoot.
Yeah, 54 action that we run. He popped up and guy didn't close on him, and he was able to catch and shoot. That's indicative who that kid was all year, man.
He's an animal, man. He's an animal.
Yeah.
Again, a good shot from Hobbs.
Yeah, you gotta make it. What's more disappointing, the ball gets dribbled from 94 feet for one. Yeah, we never make the guy change directions or anything.
When he changed the race, he had both feet in the paint, and that's what we were talking about, Coach, as far as early season defensive mishaps. I mean, you got to get that ball stopped to give your guys an opportunity to get back and cover shooters and somebody else get a foot in the paint. I think the third quarter, Sam played with just a little bit more energy, if that's possible. Kid plays hard all the time. He just willed us. He just willed us to this game here, and he wouldn't take no for an answer, even though he probably felt like he left a lot of stuff out there. Couple foul calls didn't go his way. He was a little hard on himself. He just found a way to keep his composure and play through it.
Again, you talked about it, Coach Thompson. I'm a big fan of, how you close the quarters. You were coming up on the close of a quarter stretch here. Dutchtown was able to make some plays, but you helped them.
Yeah, we did. I mean, a lot more poised, a lot more solid in the third quarter as far as the identity of what they were trying to get. I really truly believe they wanted to get out and run just a little bit more in the third quarter. But I think our guys was just a tad bit more on the passive side. So, we need to slow down, play with a little bit less of a pace to get what we want to get. Because we preached that at halftime. I think we yelled and screamed, cussed a little bit about the quickness of the shots. I think we passed the ball 2-3 times again, getting the ball from side 1 to side 2 and back over to side 3, maybe 4 again. We can find, pretty good offense this early on in the season.
Determined here to get the ball in the paint, Coach.
Yeah, I just wanted to get it in at any cost. I thought we did a good job. Man kicked it out the first
Yes.
time, and then he reposted,
Yes.
which that was what I was liking. He didn't give up on the play. He reposted, and then we fed him. But if we just get the ball up on the rim inside the paint, we had a good chance because Bryant was down there to help us out rebounding, getting offensive rebounds.
Run that back.
Bryant did a good job. So that was just it was patience by our guards,
Right.
So he posts, he kicks it out, he reposts, and then we throw it right back in.
And
so now we get the ball in the paint.
And I'm loving that because, it takes the guard to work with it. We don't see too much repost entry.
Post and repost. That's the lost art in high school basketball.
Yeah.
And I got to commend them too, because if you go back and pause it for a second, defensively, my backside guards in the tandem. They're where they're supposed to go. And luckily they are one in the stands. But the problem is on the repost, you can't stand behind that guy. You got and Dorian just let the guy repost. Now, Prince has his back to the guy. We can't see what's going on the backside, but we can't just let him repost and get the ball at 8 when he threw it out at 8. He was able to catch the ball at 8, and then if he make a quick move, we're in trouble. But we was okay defensively right there. We got guys reaching and grabbing instead of staying there walling up because they didn't want Cam to hit him. He's a big, strong guy. And so they reaching and instead of staying there walling up, making them score over us or through us, we gave him an angle and he was able to find the glass.
I remember telling my guys in that play, particularly my coaches, I said, it's going to be a long night because, Coach Thompson has everybody in the paint on Jermaine, man. He didn't care about anybody else on the three-point line. And I knew it was going to be a long next quarter because everybody was in the paint. He didn't care about anybody on the three-point line, which for obvious reasons, that foul, we can't get there. Bryant makes a great play here, reads the passing lane, gets out, and we get a nice, nice transition point. But then Cam Bryant being him, his energy and just motor just runs him over, just takes the guy, just runs the guy over. And I want to say that was his fourth foul.
That was his fourth. Yep, because he's gonna pick up a cheap one for his fifth. Guy just being aggressive, trying to play, gap defense and loose ball. He was a step late getting there and bumped the guy, and he, fell. We can't give up that long pass right there when we're trying to close under a minute. Nash one hand pass across the floor and we turn it over. That was Achilles' heel for us early on, man. We turned the ball over way more than we should have, and I don't understand how we was able to win some of the games we won with the number of turnovers. We turned it over. Like, here we go again, guys jumping, leaving their feet, trying to pass the basketball.
Run that
Finally, if you can go back.
Because Coach Griffin, I saw activity here on this defensive possession.
Finally, we guarded, and this is the same action he ran in the first half, and he got a layup on the other end. We finally covered down on the cut. Then we stayed, no help on the corner, so he made to make a play. We sent him to the sideline, got him out of the middle of the floor, and so now we got this guy having to leave his feet to get the ball, which I thought we did a good job there, just being in the right position. And then Callahan again, the energy guy, goes up and makes a layup.
If you don't mind running back one more time, let me show you what the issue is with here. Ball went to the strong side of the floor, and we got a guy that's trying to make a play from the top of the key who should not be trying to make a play from the top of the key. Ball gets reversed.
No, that's not it. Run.
Not it. No. Yes, it is.
Back. Oh yeah.
That ball should. It came from the right side, and instead of him passing the ball to the left side of the floor, right back to the right side of the floor, and then leaves his feet. That's easy. The easy defense, because the defense is already in great position. Those are the kind of turnovers that we talk about, not letting guys get open catches, forcing them to where we want them to go, as opposed to where they want to go on the offense. That was a good job of them, forcing Nash up high on the catch, and then the ball luckily being in the hands of a guy who we did not want to have in that situation as far as trying to dribble, drive, make a play.
Now we can't have this here. We can't have that.
Yeah. Yes.
We got to be able to score the ball. We can't have a turnover there. Momentum. We had all the momentum, and then we give up a foul, and he makes both free throws. We have all momentum to get us to tie the ball game up at the end of the third, and then we give that up.
And that's a 4-point swing, technically.
Yep.
AJ did a good job of sprinting back. I think it was a turnover. Play before, he did a good job of sprinting back and back tipping. And,
right here.
Yeah. Then Prince got his head up, and we were a little like, because the ball handler was a little shaky. Sam got to finish that, but we'll take the foul and go make free throws. Again, closing quarters, man. Closing quarters. A little shaky. We was up 4 or 5, and then we let them go on a quick little run and cut the lead to 2. And then again, being lucky to make free throws to have a 4-point, for a little 4-point cushion going into the fourth.
So it's still 4 points, an even third quarter from both teams, 18 apiece. But now Coach Thompson's MO is defense. And the fourth quarter is still with the defense. But Coach Griffin, you're still in the game. As bad as the ball has been, and you showed, I thought the third quarter may have been your best overall quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I thought it was a good quarter for us. We scored 18 points. I thought we rebounded the ball a little bit better. I thought we guarded, had more effort and guarded. Now I was a little bit nervous going into the fourth quarter simply because I knew Bryant had 4 fouls, and I know how he plays. So I'm always kind of particular on how I want to play him or start the game or whatever the case is of the quarter because we need him. We need him to win the game. So for us, it was just me trying to figure out when to use him. And, he's one of those kids where he just wants to play. He's going to play hard, turning the motor off. So for us, it was just trying to come out in the fourth quarter. And I always like to win the fourth quarter. I thought we could win the first couple of minutes and we could have a momentum swing and finally grab a hold to the lead, but we never could get it, never could get ahead.
Well, there's going to be a lot to talk about defensively, especially with the coaching chess match or chess moves that we see here. But you still feeling pretty good. Fourth quarter begins here, trailing by 4.
I like where we are right now, trying to hold teams to 60 and below. We feel like we can give up less than 14 points this quarter. We have a pretty decent chance of winning. And right off the bat, we have an okay possession. Got a guy on the help side. Dribble drive was a little bit too much right there for me. I don't want guys getting full getting downhill. But
and this is what I'm talking about, Coach Thompson. You used the word okay. Coach Griffin, explain this. Run that possession back because something I've seen you play, but somebody missed something.
Yeah, well, Jermaine should have got a cross screen. He popped. So you pause it here. So we should have swung it to the guy that's coming to the wing, and then he was supposed to go and cross screen. 13 is going cross screen. Callahan's supposed to cross screen for Jermaine, going right into the paint. Jermaine pops up. I'm pretty sure he gets the ball. He pops up, and at that point, we're got Jermaine playing on the perimeter, and I wanted him inside. So right here, Jermaine pops instead of just waiting on the cross screen to happen, and we didn't let the play develop like we should have.
Because he could have came to the mid block.
Yeah, so I thought Wheeler did do a good job again of just making us just make the wrong play. Here we should have just waited, been more patient, and threw the ball in the paint. But Jermaine, he kind of popped on up, and then we took, just a force.
What did you not like, Coach Thompson, defensively? Because you said okay possession. Well,
first of all, if you take a look at our closeouts, we're not closing out, putting no ball pressure out. Nobody's hand is up. That's the first thing for me. Nobody closing out. Still easy catch, maybe one step out the line. And it's a direct hit. It's a direct line drive. I mean, if you go back to that when the guy catch the basketball, I think that's Max. Yes, Max Harris. His right foot is up too high. He's been in his chest. He gave him a direct line drive. I really can't be mad at Max about this situation. Max missed most of the entire season, nursing a back injury. Kid played sparingly at this game, but he, grew to be a very integral part of what we did. But the first part with me was our closeouts. I mean, we didn't get on not one of the shots. And if our closeouts are good, typically our possession is good. So that's attention to detail that we probably a little fatigued, a little tired fourth quarter. That's when it's got to be his best. Our closeout really bad.
In defense of Coach Thompson's kids, we weren't making shots, Coach. That's probably why they didn't close out. So I got it. I understand, Coach.
I knew it was something. He had that wry smile waiting on him. I was ready for that something.
No direct line drives. No direct. That's pretty good defense.
That's a good job, defensive. Fourth shot.
Freshman not boxing out.
That's why they weren't closing out, Coach.
Say because we couldn't make shots, huh?
We didn't make one.
We didn't make one because we went.
But they don't understand. We as coaches, we just want you to do it the right way all the time.
All the time. You do it right way all the time. We won't have to worry about it.
It's a good job.
Coach, did you chart this? What did you shoot? 30, 31% from the field?
Yeah, I know. I don't have it in front of me, but I'll tell you one thing right here. It'll take me 2 seconds to pull up. We shot 41 from the floor. They shot 35.
Okay.
We shot 47 from the 2. They shot 51. And we both was dismal from the 3. We shot 16.7 and shot 8%. So we neither one of us shot the ball well.
You say 8%, Coach?
8%.
Yes, sir. We shot 16, Coach. We shot 16.
I think 16 over 8, Coach.
I will too. 8%.
That's one more 3, Coach.
Then on the flip side, Griffin, 51% from 2 though. And that's when you were able to get it in the paint and score.
Yeah, you would have thought we would have put the ball in the paint more than what we did. But again, I didn't think that, we understood what we were trying to do, how we were trying to score. Another tough layup by Hobbs. We just turned down the screen. I think
it seemed like every time Isaiah scored a basket, Hobbs came
right back.
It seemed
like whoever was guarding Hobbs jumps the screen, so Hobbs just turns it down. It seemed like he didn't want to come off the screen. Hobbs turns it down and then just goes right to the basket for a layup. I thought Man did a good job as well, but I don't know what happened on the other side. I just know he jumps the screen and then we just drive it right down the lane. Yes. He makes a nice off-foot. We work on those layups. He makes a nice off-foot layup. So we work on those in practice, kind of how to make different layups, and he made it. So.
What are we doing on the backside?
Exactly.
Coach, I didn't see that one more time. Can I see that one more? We got 3 guys over here.
Yeah, not in the
Jesus, what are we doing? Boy.
So don't worry, just watch us on the next possession.
Man. We finally use the ball screen, but we still don't get into the action, and we cross screen. Guy just makes a play. That's not a design play. I don't know what that was. It was freelancing a little bit again.
Well, he caught that at the top, and the defense allowed him to turn the corner.
Yep.
Right here, Callahan's on his back.
Yeah, he never gets around it. He never cuts him off. He lets the guy just drive to the basket. We should have already been jumping to the ball, which that would never happen. We never jump to the ball. Ball swung, you got to move.
Right there.
And it should have been an easy switch. Again, that's a communication. Hobbs just takes him, and he's driving right into Hobbs. It's a communicate. We didn't communicate well in this game, and a lot of that was a reason for our lack of defensive execution.
I gotta commend Harrison in this game. And again, this game, he probably practiced 2 times before we played this game and missed the entire, preseason. Again, nursing the back end. But he came in and gave us great minutes. Probably should have played a little bit more, but I probably was a little bit leery because of the type of injury he was coming back from and didn't know what kind of shape he was in. But he found his way to the free throw line quite a bit. And then we do what we did a lot, turn the basketball over.
And he hit a big right wing 3 for you in March. So
2 of them. Huge. Couldn't be more proud of that kid, how he persevered and overcame the injury.
But still, right here, it's almost, and I like to say arm's length, but they got you just far enough. Ooh, meet me at the rim.
Yeah.
Again, because
that's the play.
Man, look at this. It's an okay defensive play. We give up a direct line drive. The freshman is trying to gamble. Direct line drive. Prince don't take the charge. He tries to jump. We got guys flying around instead of being big. We were lucky enough that guy get a hand on the ball. Just a little bit more lucky on that possession. And then Sam showing his frustration because he thought he got fouled, but he ain't got foul called all night. Guy letting us play.
Yeah, we should have probably just threw the ball back there on that. He comes off the screen, Man is there, throw back to Man because everybody ran down in the paint with him. I thought we took a forced shot instead of just making the easy play, just throwing the ball back to Man. Man was open. But I think at this point, I don't know if Cam Bryant is still he just came back in the game.
Yeah.
So I saved him, and I wanted to just buy him some time. And I thought if we could just keep within distance and bring him in, we'll be in good shape. But again, I think he may have scored quickly and then fouled quickly. back plays coming up, soon.
So I foreshadowed it earlier. We're going to see it again now. I don't know if people paid attention to your defense prior to the timeout. It's going to be different coming out of the timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he will. He's gonna switch up to the zone. Switch up to the zone.
Yeah, we actually trapped. So we tried to trap.
But then
it was a little bit more
call out of it. Yeah, I thought we did a decent job, but then here it's just unfortunate. Honestly, I think it was just unfortunate play.
Lucky, we were very lucky, coach.
Everybody was too far to the baseline, coach, defensively.
Yeah. See, we got too sunken down. So here he comes out, and then right on the swing, he's in the right spot. So he's actually in the right spot in the 1-3-1. But my whole point, don't be in the right spot. If you're in the right spot, get the ball now. So I mean, you gotta come with that ball right there. You gotta get that.
Yes,
you gotta have it. Again, first they got the 50-50s, and this is just now it's a long slide from Cam Bryant to the top of the key to come all the way over to close down on that three. And he still got to put a hand up and close. It's a big basket he made there.
Now, coach, you say you got lucky coming out of the break because of the change of the defense?
Well, no, because of it should have been a turnover, like coach just said. Like, and the freshman trying to make the spectacular is a tough entry pass, no look pass to a guy that he that's not his forte. I mean, he's a guy that like to play in space, throw lobs around the rim. If he catch it in there, he's got big man, right there on him. He's probably not going to be able to, finish that shot. We didn't get hurt out of the trap. Now we need to be a little bit more patient on that possession and move it around and get another one. I mean, it happened. They got a deflection. We found the ball. Nash had his feet set around 3-point line. He made a shot. It was a huge play for us. Again, but it wasn't anything by design. Just we got a little lucky.
Come on, make one for me, Hobbs.
Yes.
It's a good play by Bryant, just being who he is. And I thought Bryant being the dude he was, I'm sure he said, Hobbs, you ain't made one. I'm gonna lay the ball up. So, he didn't make the kick. He just said, I'm gonna go lay it up, which I didn't mind the play by.
Not at all.
I mean,
this is where it kills us here, though. I think he may be fouled somewhere.
Yes, he's about to catch it.
Three straight possessions, 3 straight turnovers.
Live ball.
And usually you don't recover from them. Usually you don't. Closing. Probably 3 of the 4 quarters.
I just noticed Coach Griffin has stripped the jacket.
It was a nice jacket. I had to come on out of it, though. I don't think I wore the jacket for the rest of the season. I thought after he lost, I said it's bad luck.
No, done that.
I don't want to know what you wore in them Eagles landing games, then.
Don't do a coach like that, man.
Yeah, coach,
4 possessions.
They only lost 4 times all year, so
they got me 2 of the 3, coach. They got me 2 of them losses I got to them. So here's an unfortunate play for us. I thought we did a good job defensively, and we got guys diving over the floor, and then Brian just, I don't think he didn't try to, do it, but it's just unfortunate. I thought the initial was good. We got on the floor, hustle. Brian went out, man, and we was calling on Jermaine Mann a little bit more at this point.
Yeah, and it's +6 Wheeler when he fouls out.
I see him talking to the kid that on the receiving end of the pass right there. I hope I wasn't giving him an earful because that definitely wasn't his fault. That was a terrible pass by Prince. We just careless with the basketball. It's 4 straight possessions, 4 turnovers. Again, ball bounced our way right here with the foul, but that's just a terrible pass right there. I don't know why I had Kedrick over there talking to me after this play ended. If I was giving you an earful, Kedrick, I apologize. I hope you apologize. That was definitely not on you, even though you got that guy behind you. Just bad basketball, man. It's fourth quarter's winning time, and we still throwing the ball around the gym like we have no clue what we're doing.
We tried everything we could. We tripping over our own guys.
Yeah,
we tried.
about that foul because you had been allowed to play so far.
So far, right.
And
They didn't
not
call.
getting the 50-50 ball, Coach Griffin.
Yeah, we tried everything we could. I mean, we just couldn't get it. We couldn't get it. I mean, and I thought the ref made the right call. I thought it was an obvious foul on Cam. I thought the ref made the right right call there. I just hate that. I don't think that happens when we get the 50-50 ball. That's kind of what I'm going at.
Yeah, and see, he fouled out with 12 points. Who knows how big that was with a 6-point game? But still, man, like you say, finna go through Jermaine.
Yeah, so man said, let me go force the issue at this point. I think he just kind of rips through guys, fouls him a little bit on the arm.
Davies up in it.
Yeah, man tries to create space with his foot, goes up. I think he got maybe a little contact on the elbow, but I didn't think.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, Cole.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just a call to Jermaine man should get. I don't know, Cole. We needed it, Cole. I tell you that much.
Was it that guy behind the play right now made that call? Because if it was, I can understand it. Who made that call?
Yeah, it was him.
Yeah, because I don't see the other ref. And I don't see the other ref making the call.
Yeah, he was.
Because he's reporting it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep quiet on that.
Cole, look, don't worry about it, Cole. We took four free throws, Coach. We took 4. I was hoping we got one.
Out of this 4 straight possessions, man, we turned the ball four straight times. Make that almost a 5th one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we couldn't capitalize.
Man, early season basketball.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. It's 3 minutes left to go in the game. That's what we get.
We get a rebound, and as a foul, we get to go down the other end and set something up to try to score. Let's see. We're probably gonna take a 3.
Well, we've been seeing Wheeler with the ball screen, so you decide to break out one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to probably get it into Jermaine man.
I think we switched our defense here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if we did it then or another possession, but now we stayed. We stayed.
You stayed, yeah.
We stayed, man.
It's just a high ball screen. Throw the ball. Yeah, just throw the ball back. We can't turn it over. We cannot turn it over there. Throw it back. We get this turnover to a basket. It never fails. A turnover always leads to that. It just never fails.
I'm going to say it again, and it was a live ball turnover.
Yeah, those are the words. I'd rather him just throw it out of bounds and we can set our defense up.
Yeah, man. Go to the corner and kick that thing to the stands. If you just got to turn it over like that, don't turn it over like that. I can't defend it.
Because it's a 5-point game. If you get a hoop there, it's now a 1-possession game.
We feeling it. Yeah, we get a basket there. Sometimes we just got to make the right play. And the right play sometimes, just turn around, throwing the ball back. I mean, that's part of the offense. Everybody goes with Hobbs. Just throw it back to man.
And talking about closing, again, it's closing time here, Coach. The last 3:20, you only got 2 points. Jordan.
Yeah, well, we couldn't. Well, outside of Jermaine man, we couldn't get the ball. We couldn't get the ball in the basket. I think we scored 7 points in the quarter. So we had no continuity in what we were trying to do. Again, we get a miss, and then we come down. It's probably take a 3. Yep, take a 3, and that's it. And so instead of going back to the paint, getting the ball inside, we take a 3. And I think at this point, we're just trying to get it all back in 1. We're trying to get everything back in 1 now. Let's just get it back in 1. And I think they may have called a blocking foul on man here on the other end.
Yeah, instead of him pulling that ball out, he sees his big brother running down the lane and, gives it up to him. Not mad at him, but nobody on you 2 minutes ago in the game. Pull that ball out. Let's run a little clock and get something. With a little bit of time ran off. Not mad at the play though, because he was throwing the ball to who became our best player over the course of the year.
And Coach, that was your only single-digit quarter in the game, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, has a lot to do with Wheeler. I think they turned it up a little bit on the defensive end, pressuring wise, and just getting us like here. We just so out of sorts, Like we're just out of sorts. So instead of us just bringing it out and running something, it's an 8-point game.
It
Let's go.
looks a lot more like the first quarter as well.
Yeah, we didn't slow. We weren't patient. I thought the second and third quarters were much better quarters for us. We didn't have any patience to what we were trying to do as far as just slowing the ball up and running something. 2 minutes ago, let's get a basket. Let's go guard and defend. So now you see Wheeler goes back to their ball screen. Actually, I thought my Callahan did a good job of defending it. Jermaine tries to go for the steal again, layup, then drop down on the backside. We gamble. We got to have people rotate down.
Run that back. Coach, what does Sam Hines not do? Now he driving and kicking?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's a
good player.
He's a jack of all trades, man. He's a jack of all trades. Should have been a turnover. Bad pass by the young boy. Sam finds a guy and makes a play for us. Just a ball screen with the lift action. He's lift. He's the lift. Normally he'll take that, 17, 15-foot jump shot right there. He get his shoulder square. He usually getting all the way to the basket, but he dropped it off right there and got us a layup.
And Larry, you talked about it earlier. I meant to ask you about it. You talked about how you should have stayed with this group a little longer or stayed with that group a little longer. But isn't that kind of first game things trying to figure out which groups can play?
No question about it. I think I was talking to one of the assistants after the game. He's like, made a reference to that second group. And I was like, everybody that's on the floor right now had been with me for at least 2 years outside of Isaiah. It was just more of a comfort thing to go back to them because of their game experience and being in the heat of the battle and the fire. Again, in hindsight, it's easy to say what we should have done because that's cheating. But in retrospect, why I went with those guys, as long as I did, especially in the second half, just because of a little bit more comfort level. I think the other guys like AJ and Max, they probably should have played more in their game, especially AJ. Max had some great minutes. Again, he would just come off of the injury. I think he had practiced 2 days. And I just wasn't comfortable with playing him long stretches, especially with how close the game was and how physical it was. Just to know how he was going to hold up at that time, conditioning wise. So it was just a comfort thing. We're going with those guys, just a comfort thing.
Matching the largest lead of 12. So got it to 12. Then they cut it to 1, got it to 12, and then pulled away there in these closing minutes of the fourth quarter.
So they go zone. So now Coach Thompson does to us what we did to them. They like they switched to defense and went zone. And so
I kind of figured I kind of figured you went to, we need a basket right here. Let's go with our best quick hitter right now. It's probably going to be a man set. Let's show them something they haven't seen all night.
Yeah. So if you go back on that play real quick, I mean, and Coach Thompson is actually absolutely correct. We're going to screen for man here to curl around and get him a shot going to the basket, but he had a guy sitting there because of the zone. We couldn't do what we needed to do. Good switch out of the timeout, and we throw up a 3. Good defensive job too by Wheeler in their zone scramble.
That was your first time going to the zone, right, Larry?
Yeah. We didn't work a whole bunch of zone early on in preseason. I guess the way you teach zone is you become a pretty good man-to-man defensive team first. And then one of my assistant coaches, Coach Shep, he manned our zone looks. And after this game, and we got like a whole week off before we played another game, we really horned on and worked on our zone defense as well as our offense because I was a little worried if Coach would have stayed in that zone a little bit more. He probably could have forced us into some things that we didn't want to get because we just wasn't comfortable enough playing it that early in the year.
But just the way you played it on their possession, the activity of it was sharp because you wound up getting what you wanted.
Yeah, what the thing is hey man, it just stay patient, stay in it. Know your keys, know your rotations, and get there. And then playing against the zone, playing in the zone, I just tell them, hey guys, just one possession. Just give me everything you got for one possession, and let's see if we can get a quick shot and a rebound out of it.
And then just a nice dribble out of the clock for the season opening victory for Wheeler. But as we've talked about, this was the first game of the season. Dutchtown goes on and is the 5A state champ. Wheeler goes on as the 7A state champ. Coach, you said you looked at Coach Thompson. You said you went back, looked at this film, looked at the mistakes. You became better. Coach Griffin, you said you went back, and as the season went on, you guys were able to get better. But playing this game, neutral floor, this at that atmosphere, and then eventual state champs in both of you, did this game really have something to do with that down the road as your teams progressed?
I would say for me, I know early on, it helped me understand how far I could go down the bench. It put some different thoughts in my head, because some guys who I didn't know what I was going to get from them. That was a pretty great atmosphere for be a game one. It was very, very tough opponent. I mean, they end up winning the chip as well. So the biggest thing for me was okay, I trust this guy in these minutes. I can trust this kid here in that minute, and it gave guys a better opportunity to put their best foot forward when their opportunity or their name was called. So that was huge for us. And again, I don't know any other way, man. I mean, I knew Dutchtown was going to be really, really good. Returning, Cam and Man was, coming over, what the case may be. So I knew it would be a really, really good test. What I didn't know about was two of the guys on the perimeter. I didn't know. I knew Hobbs, but I didn't know how you say
Placide.
Yeah, see, I saw him on, some social media, and that kid was, really athletic. He made shots. It's my first time really seeing him. So it helped me understand who my guys were without knowing who those guys were as far as what they do best, and see how they adjust on the fly once we figure out their strengths. So again, help me with my depth, and then just play. I always, trying to play good people early, trying to test the guys all throughout the year. So when January, February come around, we've been in enough battles to understand what it takes to win games close, win the games, and to adjust when teams make runs.
And Coach Griffin, I mean, that was welcome to Georgia basketball for you.
Yeah, it was exactly that. I think Coach Thompson hit a lot of it on the head. For us, we definitely. I was big on preparing my team for a state title run. I wanted to play in big environments, and I wanted to get them used to that. So I thought, knowing kind of who Wheeler was and what they've been, and Coach Thompson and everybody, I was calling people, Georgia people saying, I need you to tell me something about, Coach Thompson. What are you going to do, Coach? He going to guard, he going to guard. So I'm like, okay. So I got an idea, but for us, it was just really us just understanding what we can be, if we shore up some things. And again, I tried to make sure that I put our guys in a lot of different situations. What I did want was, my goal was to get to, Macon. I didn't want the first time we played in a nice situation or a nice arena or a big place with a crowd to be in Macon. So I thought, those are opportunities that, when we went to McEachern and played at McEachern, and obviously go to, Wheeler and play in those type of places to kind of get that experience. But, for me, I watched the film probably a lot by myself because I wanted to understand, as a coach, how I needed to improve and help my team. I was more frustrated with myself because I felt like I needed to help them more, and I didn't do a good enough job of helping them. I can require them to be special and be great, but I have to make sure that I'm putting in the work to give them the tools. And so I really went back, and me and my coaches, I think we met on a Sunday, and we sat in my office from maybe like 12 to 4, 12 to 5, and we just watched film. We talked about different things. How do we get Man involved? How do we get Brian more shots? And I remember having a conversation with those guys about, different things they have to do for us to be successful. But I thought Coach Thompson, he gave me a nice welcome to the league. He gave me my first boss in high school basketball as a head coach. So I probably always remember the first loss that I took was to Coach Thompson. But hey, it's to the 7A champs, and it's a well-respected team and well-respected coach. And I think eventually it helped us in the long run.
Dutchtown wound up 28-4. Wheeler wound up 24-7, and then ranked 24th in max preps. Coach Griffin, Coach Thompson, Thank you guys, man. Great insight. Early season basketball. We still know how to break it down and get better from it. So.
Hey, man, I will say, you know, we both have some games where we got better film, but we got to break one down. We can start a trend. We can play every year, first game of the year. If we're going to hang bands at the end of the year, hey, man.
Look, I'm for it. I'm all for it, Coach.
Well, what? Play the first. When we playing again?
I was saying, if it's gonna be the ending, we can play the first.
We can play every first game. Yeah.
Every year.
We got to guarantee the ending, however, you know.
You got to guarantee the ending, though, Coach. We got to guarantee the ending.
Hey, guys, you've been great, and thank you for joining us, SUVtv Coaches Film Room, right here on SUVtv.